Hello everyone, this is the Leech. Been a while since I've cast any games, but I've decided since I've been playing a lot more 2v2 lately that I'm going to start casting some of those for everyone's enjoyment. I'm currently rank 9 in the Masters League with my newfound buddy here, Blah, as I like to call him, the Blue Zerg. And so down here in the bottom left, I will be the Red Terran under the name Soptic, not Titch, Soptic. And my partner is the Blue Zerg here, blah, as I like to say it. We found each other on TeamLiquid.net. It was love at first sight, and now we are owning up the 2v2 action. So it'll be a Terran Zerg versus the Protoss opponent here, Rubicon, like the Jeep. That was a pretty cool reference. I'm a pretty smart guy. And his partner is Bakao, probably some famous Korean or something like that. I believe these guys were like ranked 2 on the Master League's ladder, so pretty good players. Um, Anyways, yeah, I haven't done any casts in about a month, but I thought this would be a fun series and something a little different than most people are doing here. And it's a little more fun for me to cast my own games as I know what's going on and I can laugh at how terrible I am because, trust me, I am completely terrible. So here is Blah getting scouted by the enemy Protoss Rubicon. I am just starting to move into the Zerg base here of Bakao, as we like to call him. I'm going to keep the production tab open for most of this because 2v2 is a lot more intense. There's a lot more going on, so I'm going to try and focus on that a lot more. Spawning pools coming down for both players at about the same time here, and you can see that Bakao will be taking his gas. Bois had his gas up a little bit sooner because he wants to get that speed as soon as humanly possible. We're going for a Speedling Hellion opening, which is very, very strong and is very good at just keeping map control and just keeping some heavy pressure on. That is our strategy in most of the openings here for most games. I'm following this Protoss around because I am so paranoid anymore. Proxies in my base and things like that. And I really do not like getting proxied, so if I have to, I will follow that probe for as long as humanly possible. And we can see now the first gateway is coming down. Here, for Rubicon actually is down, sorry, and the second gateway is coming down. So going to gate before going cybernetics core, and a lot of Protoss do like to do this too, defend against early pressure if they absolutely have to. But as you can see, none of us are cheesing or anything like that. Speed is starting now for Bois, and the scouting probe is now returned to the base of the Protoss here. Both players getting their queens out, and Bois getting 6 Zerglings as Bakao is getting only 4. And speed has just been started now for Bakao. You can see the speedlings of Bois starting to head out here, and Bois is very good at early pressure. He pretty much carries me in these matches, but I do the best I can to help him out. And I like to think that we're a pretty solid team. Trying to get my scouting SCV out of here. Did the little mineral patch trick to get through those zealots, and we'll see if I actually make it home. I think I did. So he is going to start heading back home, and here comes the Zerglings of Bois to try and apply some really pressure, keep that map control. We don't want them getting out to the middle of the map, and he's also going to be taking his expansion here as I am getting a reactor on my barracks that I'm going to switch with this factory that I'm laying down to get some quick Hellion production out. During this here hour, you're going to be able to run by these this Protoss, and that really was a bad move by that Protoss to not be walled off against Zergs. You just have to have that done in 2v2, and Bois is just going to sit here and apply as much pressure as he possibly can. As you can see, he pulled off all of his probes, so it's kind of a bad move there, if you ask me. I'm no expert, but I probably would have kept those probes mining a little bit longer. And we can see that Bois noticed that there was some ability there for him to get inside the base, and he produces a lot more Zerglings and continues to run up. I get my other factory down, and Bois is going to start attacking these Zerglings here, as he does have speed and they do not, so he's able to do a lot of damage to them. My first 2 Hellions are out here, and they're going to start heading towards the middle of the map. I am almost supply blocked because, like I said, I'm completely terrible, and as I come to save the day, and I'm not microing them because I'm amazing like that. And then I notice, and I'm like, oh, okay, I need to micro these a little bit here. Hopefully not lose this Hellion, but Hellions against Speedlings. I circle back around and meet up with these Speedlings of my partner Bois. Bois' expansion just now finishing up. We can see some Stalkers now coming out of the Protoss. It's going to be chrono boosting that Warp Gate research and lots of Zerglings out here for Bois. Bois going to try to continue to keep that early map control. You can see a Spine Crawler coming down from this Zerg here. He's quite afraid. Lots of Zerglings coming down, and also the Roach Warren coming down from him. I started sending gas here to Bois so he get Mutalisk up quicker, as we did do some early game damage, or just kept them distracted some. And once I start sending him gas, if he can mass up a few Mutalisks and come in and get some harassment in, it does a lot of damage usually, and allows me to go siege tanks or just mass up a Bio Ball, whatever I would like to do. I start getting my expansion down here, and just continuing to pump that gas over to Blah. You can see Blah's layer is just about finished up, and he is continuing to just poke in here a little bit to do as much damage as he can. My Hellion gets taken out there, but his Speedlings are going to continue in to the Zerg base here and just poke around. He just wants to keep poking. He wants to keep them alive as long as possible, but make them stay back in their base so they can't just come kill us. And now he's going to start running backwards with these Speedlings here, and I have a few more Hellions popping out. As you can see, my command center is about halfway finished here. I'm getting a tech lab now on my factory, and pretty soon I'm going to switch this factory back over to this barracks to start siege tank production here 2 at a time. Speedlings are now going to run out again here by Bois and try and get a little more damage in. And once again, just stop him, stop the Protoss here from coming straight to our base and killing us. Now we are going to see a little engagement here in the middle. My Hellions running in, getting hit by the Stalkers, and then the Zerglings come in. I'm trying to get a good angle here with my Hellions to avoid the Stalker fire and start hitting the Zealots and Zerglings as much as possible. Stalkers are firing at these Hellions a lot, and Bois is able to just run in a whole lot of Speedlings to take all this down. You can see the Spire's about halfway done. I start getting Blue Flame now for some harassment later on, as Bois is doing a good job keeping them out in the middle of the map, and eventually we're able to clean this up here. Roach is trying to retreat, but I'm going to keep chasing them with my Hellions, and then Bois is going to come back in and surround them once they turn around and try and take out my Hellions. My expansion here is finished. I've got both my gases down. Going to do a transfer here shortly, but I'm so terrible and it takes me a while to do that. More Hellions being pumped out here, and you can see I am going to run in here, and I believe I just completely suicide these Hellions because I'm such a pro. There's a bunch of spine crawlers and roaches, but I'm like, let's see if I can kill some drones, and well, you see how well that went over. But we're keeping them back in their base, and that's the whole thing. Protoss is just now expanding. Bois here is trying to force him to cancel it, but it's not going to happen. I am starting my siege tank production now. Here very shortly, Blue Flame is finished up here, and I do have some Hellions out ready to run about here. Bois is continuing to keep these Zerglings up here. 7 Mutalisks on the way from that gas that I was feeding him. And if we take a look at the army tab from everyone now, we can see that the Protoss is really hurting supply. 39 out of 78. And let's just for lulz look at the APM tabs. Look at me at the ownage 68. Bois is just a complete beast at 183. And I tell Bois I'm going to start going tanks. He says KK. And more Hellions being pumped out now. I did do that transfer. Got the guys onto gas now. The Zerg still has not expanded. He's going into his layer now. More gateways being laid down by the Protoss to try and get ready for all that stuff that he just laid down. Also getting a Twilight Council, trying to get ready for this extra income that he's going to have now from that expansion. And I tried to poke in here with my Blue Flame Hellions. I noticed that the ramp is open because the Protoss was coming to help these Mutalisks, so I knew that I had an opportunity here. I got my Hellions into the Protoss base. Blue Flame was finished up, and I knew I was going to do mass damage here, so I tried to just get as many shots off as possible. Hellions are in a good spot, and I just start roasting those probes. And taking a look at the income tab, you can see how many probes I was able to kill there, as the Protoss is now at 17, as well as Bois just doing a lot of damage here with those Mutalisks, continuing to just swing as much as possible, and continuing to just hit their no spore crawlers down, so he's able to do a lot of damage. These Stalkers just trying to run back and forth to help. After I killed almost all the probes in the Protoss base, I decided to come and try to kill more in the Zerg base, but obviously Bois had already done a good job, and I just kind of threw my Hellions away. But we continued to have map control here. And so taking a look at the income, I'm way far ahead with all my mules and 41 harvesters here. So we're doing a great job. Pumping out lots of siege tanks. Got that siege mode on the way. Continuing to get some Marines pumped out here. Got my armor down and starting to get my third ready. As I'm just throwing down more production facilities, these mutas just continuing to harass all over, just like our plan is. And those two players are just so low on their income. You can see 20 harvesters compared to my 44 and Boss 34, and Boss just continuing to pump out as much stuff as he can to keep harassing there. Do see Blink on the way now for the Protoss. Hadrolus coming out now for the Zerg to try and deal with the pressure that we're putting on. And Bois just doing great Muta harass, just coming in, hitting a few times and leaving, forcing those Stalkers to run over and try and assist there. And you can see they just have such a small force here, not many harvesters going on. And I'm just continuing to pump out those tanks, going to start my marine protection here soon. I'm just trying to be safe in case there's any counterattacks. Getting my tanks here lined up to make sure that nothing crazy is happening. Boss throwing down his third base here. Muta's continuing to go in and do damage, trying to take out those pylons here to depower those gateways in that cybernetic core. And like I said, I'm just continuing to pump out those tanks there, throwing down some more barracks so I can start really getting that infantry coming. Stalkers here trying to deal with these Mutalisks, but the Mutalisks are just continuing to do so much damage that there's nothing that they can really do. Bois is really good with his Mutalisks, and he was able to do so much damage this game with them. And you can see now he's just jumping back and forth between the two bases, doing as much damage as possible, taking the long way around to make sure that he's not going to get stuck in the middle and lose a bunch of them, because he knows how valuable these Mutalisks are. Just a few Hydralisks here, and he's able to take them all out, and continuing to do some more damage here. Some Spore Crawlers down now, but he has enough Mutas really to just take it out. But he decides to just kind of skirt away from it and continue to do damage here. Stalker's now blinking and trying to do damage, but the base is so congested that he's not really able to get in there. Nice siege tank spread here. There's no way they're going to be able to attack us and just kind of take us out. And you can see I'm just continuing to pump out Marines, getting stim, getting 3 siege tanks at a time, getting Terran vehicle weapons level 1, Terran infantry weapons level 1. Very late in the game, of course. 15-minute mark game time, but that's just kind of the way our strategy works. The Mutalisk continuing to go in here, getting caught by some Blink Stalkers, a few of them getting taken out, but they're able to get away, and still just a huge number of Mutalisks here. You can see 16 Mutalisks out on the field for us, and more here coming to join. So taking a look at the units tab, we can see that I'm at 63 SCVs, Bois has 48 drones, 33 probes for the Protoss, and 11 drones now for the Zerg player. We could tell that we were just way far ahead, and I had enough siege tanks we could just kind of push in and start demolishing this army. And we were just so safe here this time. I am supply blocked once again because I'm such a pro. I'm starting to get my siege tanks here all set up in the middle. I'm trying to spread them out here a bit and get them all set up with my massive APM. It takes me a while to do simple things like that. We can see that Bois here just continuing to run around. He's going to run back to my siege tanks now as the Stalkers were chasing him. And the Stalkers are going to come in and just take a few hits on the siege tanks. They try to blink in, but he didn't realize how many tanks I had back here. Rubicon realizes that that is good game, and he decides to leave. And his other teammate, I believe, leaves very shortly here. He does not have much going on here. And there he goes, no GG from him. But very solid play by Bois and myself. Bois is just such a beastly harasser, and so with me being able to throw him some minerals so he can keep that up, it really makes so I can macro a decent sized army and just continue to push out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this 2v2 cast. I'm going to try and start bringing out a few more of them, as they're a lot more fun for me to play, and it's a lot more fun to cast your own game sometimes, so you can kind of laugh at yourself and see what you did right, see what you did wrong, and just how your overall strategy worked. So once again, hope you guys enjoyed it, and if so, please leave some comments, and I will post some more games later. Have a wonderful day.